right, so it's a Monday, right? We're in December. By the way, hope you all had a great Thanksgiving and all of that. Welcome to the end of the year. Now, Joe Biden. Now, here's the thing. I need you to understand this. Joe Biden has kicked off his latest tour. You know what he called it, Joe? The No Malarkey Tour. There's going to be no gobbledygook there with old Joe. So this is the reason that I'm mentioning this, okay? He just kicked this off. So he's not tired. He's been to 57 states in the past 3 days, and he's got 8 more to go. There's none of that, okay? He is refreshed. This is Joe Biden when he is well-rested and newly on tour. And he had this to say about Kim Jong-un.
Assume that position the moment they're sworn in on January the 20th, and know the rest of the world knows that person, in this case me, and that I know them. Putin has no illusions about whether I know him or not. Kim Jong-un is no person that I know him or not. The same with the president of China, Xi Jinping. Spent a lot of time with these folks. They know. They know.
Hey, Joe. Joe Biden's never met Kim Jong-un. But he says he's met with him a lot of times. So, it doesn't make sense. Because there is only one American president who has met the leader of North Korea, past and present, and that is sitting in the White House right now. But and then of course the way that he spoke too. I mean, okay. So somebody on the live stream comment just said, "Did he have a stroke?" So he speaks like he has. Okay, I honestly don't know. I really don't. It's entirely possible that they just stretched his face back when he got his face lifted a little bit too much. That's possible. So keep in mind, this is not where he is tired, okay? This is when he's fresh and he's brand new, all right? So here's the other audio. This is way worse, okay? This is way worse. I want you to listen to the very, very, very awkward situation here and listen to the crowd's reaction to this, please. Joe, go for it.
And by the way, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. And I tell you what.
Did you hear the crowd? I learned a lot about roaches. And he is talking to a crowd of African Americans. And you heard some of them go, oh. And then he talked about kids. He likes kids jumping on his lap. I want to remind everybody, this is the beginning of the No Malarkey Tour. This is the beginning. This is not Joe Biden tired. This is Joe Biden rested and refreshed. Okay? That may have been the worst soundbite over the past week. I mean, it's a pretty bad one. Now, don't get me wrong. There's several of them that are bad. You know what? You want to just do Elizabeth Warren for me. Let's go ahead and cue up Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren, she's out there. She's taken up Pete Buttigieg's mantle now, and she's talking about getting rid of the Electoral College. Here's Elizabeth Warren.
As a presidential candidate, what are your thoughts on the Electoral College?
I want to get rid of it. So here's my goal. My goal is to get elected and then to be the last American president elected by the Electoral College. I want the second term to be that I got elected by direct vote. I'm ready. Popular vote. I just think this is how a democracy should work. Call me old-fashioned, but I think the person who gets the most votes should win.
Yeah.
So I'm in.
Okay. I mean,
I'm in.
yeah. Screw apportionment and all of that stuff. I mean, forget about that. So here's the problem with this. And Pete Buttigieg, again, he's been advocating it too. Now, at least with Elizabeth Warren, she's not a Midwesterner, so it's always a little bit understandable when somebody who does not come from the Midwest doesn't want to count the Midwest. But when you have somebody who's from the Midwest, like Buttigieg is, who doesn't want to count the Midwest, you start getting a little perplexed as to why he would say that his own constituents are not relevant enough to be able to have an equal say. And that's just it. We are literally talking about equal say. Do you know what percentage of the population of California? First of all, Joe, you know that California is the most populated state by far in the United States, right? A lot of people think that New York is close. They're not even remotely close. So California, by far the most populated state. Do you know what percentage of the population of the state of California resides in L.A. County?
I'm going to go with about 45%.
Close, over a third. Okay, over a third. That's just in L.A. County, not the city of Los Angeles, but that's L.A. County, which of course encompasses. Yes, Alex is pointing out the Pete Nods thing. I've got it. Don't worry, it's coming. we've got it. I don't know if I can play it from my computer yet, but we've got it. And if you don't know what Pete Nods is, that should be a hashtag, Pete Nods, okay? Because he's a bobblehead now. So next, you've got the total population of L.A. County versus the rest of the country. How many states, Joe, do you think have a higher population than Los Angeles County? How many states?
Oh, 7.
Close, 9. 9, including California. Okay, so we're counting California, even though this is in California. Okay, so 9 states have a population higher than L.A. County. Do you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? That means that 41 have a smaller population in the entire state than the county of Los Angeles, and that is because of the city of Los Angeles. So when you are running on a popular vote platform, which is kind of what Hillary Clinton did, she ran on the popular vote platform and she lost the election by chasing the popular vote. And she only went to a few places to get that done: New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago. She kept going there. Why? Huge populations, overwhelmingly Democratic, and they will just not vote for Republican. She was already going to win those districts, but she knew there's tons of people. Okay? So if you think that one county, which is populated basically by one city, okay, if you think that one county should have the power to decide who becomes the president of the United States, you're dumb. Now, you could call Elizabeth Warren old-fashioned. I suppose you could, but, you know, she is old-fashioned because she's a socialist. And socialism is a very old-fashioned way of thinking. In fact, it is so old-fashioned. We just celebrated Thanksgiving. It's so old-fashioned that the Pilgrims abandoned it after failing with implementation of socialism. They didn't call it socialism back then, but they used shared property and all of that stuff, and it got a bunch of them dead. So they abandoned it quite a long time ago, ladies and gentlemen. But not a lot of people know that about Los Angeles County. We've got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.